What's up, everyone? It's Hector here with another Wrestling Championship Bout replica review and a comparison. And today I have the 2mm version of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, also known as the Big Gold, and the 4mm version of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. They're no longer selling the 4mm version, only the 2mm version at the WWE Shop. But when you go to the WWE Shop's product page, the title does say WWE World Heavyweight Championship Replica 2mm version, but there's only one picture of this 2mm version at the very top of the page, and the picture's kind of shadowy and shaded and everything. And all the other pictures that are super detailed and super bright are of this 4mm version from the Figures Toy Company. So I want to talk a little bit about the differences and about the Figures Toy Company and WWE Shop. Because if you're not aware, the Figures Toy Company used to make all the replica championship belts for the WWE up until around 2013. And then the newest WWE championship that was debuted by The Rock, that replica wasn't really up to snuff for the WWE standards. So they kind of split from the Figures Toy Company and went with another manufacturer. And all the replica belts now say WWE Shop on the back instead of Figures Toy Company. And there are some differences other than just, 2mm, 4mm versions. Because even the Figures Toy Company made a 2mm version with the same details, but just a few differences. So let's just jump right into it. Of course, 2mm version is all three plates are 2mm thick. 4mm version, all three plates are 4mm thick. They are both 2D etching, which means it's just a plate, and then they do all the etched designs in there, with a few relief pieces, like the wrestlers, the globe, and the crown. Those are the relief pieces. The 4mm version, the etching is deeper and thicker compared to the 2mm version. The globe is a little bit different between the two versions. I honestly like the 2mm version more, because there's just so much more detail, especially by the European countries. But the 4mm versions, European countries just sort of melt into those latitude lines that are etched in there. And then the crown right above the globe is a completely different style. The faux rubies are different size. The etching behind the faux diamonds are different. The 4mm version is just completely smooth, while the 2mm version has a sort of nugget texturing. And then the entire crown shape is just completely different. And then those four wrestler relief pieces are completely different as well. Mostly because the Figures Toy Company version just has so much more detail in all that etching, where you can see the hair, the facial features, the straps on the singlet, all of that. But when you look at the WWE Shop's version, the detail is just kind of melted and smooth in there. It just is not very good. And that goes with all of the WWE Shop replicas, whether it's the 2mm WWE World Heavyweight Championship or that 5mm WCW World Heavyweight Championship. When compared to the 2mm or 4mm WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or whatever size WCW World Heavyweight Championship from the Figures Toy Company, those versions are always way more detailed than the WWE Shop versions. And even the metal that they use to make the replicas are completely different. So the Figures Toy Company and most of the WWE Shop adult replicas use a zinc alloy metal, and it sounds pretty solid. Listen. Even the side plates. It's probably hollow, but it still sounds pretty solid. The WWE Shop, for some reason, made the decision to make the main plate stainless steel instead of a zinc alloy. So yeah, it doesn't sound as good, but for some reason the side plates are still a zinc alloy. And they sound quite a bit differently. But you might hear a little bit of rattling when I knock on it. That's because the relief pieces and the nameplate are all screwed into the back of the plate. And all these jewels are screwed in and pretty much sandwich the main plate between the belt and the jewels. So they're completely different pieces. And the metal makes quite a bit of difference on the weight. The 4mm version is a little bit over 6.5 pounds, while the 2mm version is a little bit over 4.5 pounds. So you're losing 2 pounds of weight to those 2mm. And the final difference is the red croc backing. This is the WWE Shop version with that small WWE Shop patch. And the red croc backing is more of a crimson red. And it seems more like croc skin with that square texturing. Although I never really owned croc skin, so I can't say for sure. This is the Figures Toy Company version, 4mm. It's a lighter red, and that oval skin design kind of makes it look more like a snake skin than a croc skin. Maybe it's just me, but again, I never really owned any real croc skin, so I can't say for sure. But I just like the WWE Shop's version of the red croc skin better than the Figures Toy Company version. But if you look on the WWE product page, you can see for sure that's the 4mm Figure Toy Company on all the pictures. So that's pretty much it for these WWE World Heavyweight Championship replicas. Again, this is the 4mm version from the Figures Toy Company, which you can no longer buy brand new. You can also find some 2mm versions from the Figures Toy Company used. If you want to buy a brand new belt, you can get this 2mm version from the WWE Shop. You can also get it on eBay and Amazon. And I'll leave a link to an Amazon listing in my description box if you want to buy this brand new. Use my link and I'll get a small cut of it, but it won't cost you anything extra. It'll just help keep my YouTube channels and my websites running. And if you want to see written reviews instead of these video reviews, you can go to my website, hxchector.com. That's hardcorehector.com. And you'll find a bunch of detailed, super awesome pictures and written posts in addition to my video reviews. But if you like video reviews instead, subscribe to this channel. You'll see reviews of my championship belts, my anime figures. I also like to go to conventions, cosplay, try and meet some wrestlers, get their autographs, meet up with other people, just a bunch of different things like that. So yeah, thumbs up the video, subscribe, check the description box, leave a comment telling me which version you might like best, or if you like Figures Toy Company version or just want a brand new WWE Shop version instead. You don't really care about that detail on the wrestling relief pieces or whatever. And I believe that's pretty much it. Just be aware of that WWE Shop's product page with a 2mm version and all that stuff. So yeah. See y'all later. And as always, keep on collecting.